What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode here on the Roots podcast. I believe it is the 11th episode. Anyway, I do have a guest with me today, but I wanted to answer one question first before she introduces herself. So I got the question on my Instagram story because I posted an Instagram story and about, what topics do you want to hear? And a lot of the topics that I got was obviously future life plans after high school. So let me just give you a simple answer. I want to get my real estate license and do real estate. I love music, but that's a hard career. So anyway, there's my simple answer to the questions that I got. Or one that I got a lot. So anyway, today's guest is someone that I met from work again, and her name is Memphis, and she is so sweet. And anyway, this is Memphis.
Hello, everyone. I'm Memphis.
Why don't you tell a little bit about yourself?
Let's see. I'm studying graphic design right now. My associates will be in fine arts, so that's what I'm doing. I work quite a bit. I work 2 jobs, and I'm actually going back to work with Sayer. I didn't work there for a little while, but I'm going back there now.
I'm excited that you're coming back.
I know. I'm so excited. Much needed. Mm-hmm. It's an amazing place to work. But anyways, I work a lot. I like to do art and just hang out. Mm-hmm. Life is pretty busy.
No, you're good. When Memphis left, I was like, there is not going to be anybody around here but a bunch of boys and a few old ladies to talk to, which was fine. I have no problem with that.
I got you. I'm back now.
Yeah. So let's see. What question can I ask you? What is that job compared to the other jobs that you started?
Oh my gosh, totally different. So I worked at a grocery store before I worked at the Cove. And I was a lot younger then. That was like my first job. I didn't even work there for a full year. And then I worked at the Cove for 3 years, almost 3 years. And then decided to put in my 2 weeks, I guess, just for many reasons. Nothing bad about the Cove, though. And then I got 2 other jobs, one in housekeeping, at a country club, and then one at a hotel doing room service. So, very secular environments and just totally different, totally different.
Yeah,
I don't know how to explain it. The Cove is just such an uplifting environment, and everyone is great there. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. And the other day, and she just came in on, what was it, Wednesday?
Yeah,
it was Wednesday. And you were like, I wonder if I'm going to get because I think you have a 2-year tag, don't you?
Yeah.
You're like, I wonder if I'm going to get my 3 years. But you're like, I just
the badge of honor. I need the 3 years.
Oh my goodness. So what's been up in your life lately?
Oh my gosh, literally just so busy. Moved out of my parents' house, which has been...
That's big.
Such a change.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, totally different. So just that big change going on, and then just my jobs and everything with that and that change. So honestly, just a season of change right now. Mm-hmm. So much change.
What was it like moving out of your parents? Because I have not experienced that yet.
Yeah, it was crazy. Just packing everything and then looking at my room and seeing it empty. I was like, this is gonna be so different. But I moved in with one of my friends, and it's been good so far. It's been fun, and her family is super sweet. So
yeah, and I'm gonna have her on the podcast eventually, hopefully. I do have one other person from work signed up, and you guys will hopefully see who that is if she can.
The work crew. Yes. See, everybody's just amazing. It's awesome.
Yeah, I've made a lot of good friends at work. I do have other friends, but most of them are in colleges, out of state mostly. Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the hard thing about being a college student. If you are still living at home and or doing community college, which is what I do, my friends too are like off at college.
Yeah.
So you kind of just find your community here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm glad that I work where I work now because I don't know. It's nice to go there. I feel like we talk about work a lot.
Yeah.
But,
well, it's such a big thing in your life.
Yeah.
Like it's like,
yeah.
it takes up a lot of time.
Yeah. A lot of hours. What was I saying? But yeah, the people that I've met there have like definitely just been a blessing, you know, and the conversations that we have during our downtime there or, you know, while we're rolling silverware or something.
Yeah. You don't realize like, especially I didn't realize like how important the environment was until I wasn't in it anymore.
Yeah.
And like we circle up and pray at work, and I didn't realize like how much a difference that just makes in your work environment.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what's let's see. What's a bit of a rundown of like your testimony? That's what it's in my head right now. Or what question that I have?
Oh gosh, that's such a deep question.
I think you might have told me a little bit before, but
Yeah.
I think you did.
Gosh, my testimony it's crazy, but
you don't have to like give any like.
I have been in church my whole life, and there's definitely been like ups and downs, and just like highs and lows with my relationship with Christ. I've been through a lot, but like I would say every trial and like everything has definitely brought me closer to God. But yeah, it's just been, yeah.
Why don't you ask me a question?
Let's see. What is your testimony?
My testimony? I won't give specific details.
Okay.
Maybe one day. I don't know. I mean, not like on camera and stuff. But sorry, guys. I'm sorry. You'll just have to wait a little longer. No. So mine had to do with a lot of more of people that I interacted with, and like the environment, it was okay, but it like wasn't stable. And I did grow up in church my whole life. We didn't go to church for a period of time because it was just hard with like little kids and, you know, my younger siblings. And so anyway, the friends that I had, they're Christian friends, but there was some things that just like happened, and like I was pretty much isolated from those people for like almost 2 years, I believe, and now everything's better than it was, thankfully. And so during that like year and a half to 2 years that I was isolated, I really started to like read my Bible and get more involved in like church and start playing music in the church. And so, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. I feel like isolation either brings you closer to God or
it pushes you away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like community is so important, but sometimes you just like anchor yourself and your identity and like all of those things into who you're around. And then if you're stripped from that, it's either a good thing or a bad thing. You realize how much you need God, or like, yeah,
or you get pushed away. That's really good. I mean, you would think is like when you're isolated, I mean, you tend to like go towards things, you know, for an example, like when you have like free time or whatever, and you're like, I don't know what to do, and then you just like go scroll on your phone. There goes like
it's kind of all on you,
an hour. So like it's just like what you choose to spend your time doing during that time. And so I guess that's a little bit of an example for like isolation, like when you have been isolated and God is guiding you through that. You can either spend time in His Word, or you're like, no.
What would you say are some things that like you could do in your time, like small little things to like build your relationship with God rather than scrolling on your phone? Or
I mean, scrolling is such an easy thing to do.
It's like
and it's so sad, and it's so unfortunate that that's what's come into this generation.
I heard my It's so funny we say that. I heard my preacher say something in a sermon a week or two ago, and he was talking about like our age and our generation. And it's like so hard for us to even sit down for like a 45-minute sermon or something, because we watch like these short videos and we get so much information packed into like 45 seconds that we can't even sit down for like an hour.
Yeah,
and like
our attention span is just so little.
Guilty of that, because like sometimes I'll sit down to even watch a movie, like, and I'm like, I'm not interested anymore. Like, let's change it. Or
so that's really unfortunate about our generation is we have such this little like the smallest amount of attention span that we can do, like 45, because so we're so used to scrolling, but little things to do, going back to your question, little things to do like during your free time to draw you closer to God. It's just take like 5 to 10 minutes if that's what you have, and like whether you use the Bible app on your phone, which then might not be as like good, because then you could just go over to Instagram,
get distracted.
Look at the verse of the day or something, read it, because they have like little devotions on there.
Yeah, the little devotions on there can be really good.
Yeah, or
really short.
Something that I've been doing more so in the evenings, because that's when I feel like my brain is calm, or like when I've gotten into bed. I have like this devotional book by Ellie Holcomb. It's called Fighting Words, I believe. And so I've been going through that, and it's just like 2 pages, and it takes like 5 to 10 minutes and stuff, and it has you write stuff down. And so I think just like taking a few moments just to do a devotional or read scripture is something that you can do like in your little bits of free time to get closer to God.
That's good. I think another thing too is like praying. Like, you think now we've probably been talking for like 10 minutes. Like, that's such a short amount of time, and all the things that we've said, like you can talk to God and have a whole conversation with him, like even in like 2 or 3 minutes, like you know. And like the Bible says, pray without ceasing, and that just means like constantly, like you know how some people like talk to themselves, and that's like an ongoing conversation you just have with themselves. Like, that can be God. Like, just talk to him like as a friend.
Yeah. I was I started playing music for another church about 2 weeks ago, and I went to the youth group after the second service, after I'd finished all the music. And the group that I got put in, the lady who was it was like a group of senior girls, and she asked the question. She was like, so what are some times during your day that you like hear God, or when do you feel like God is listening to you? And it can be anything, like taking a walk outside, going for a run, working out, like whatever it is. But for me, I was like, it's while I'm in the car. Yeah. Because like
alone time.
Yeah. Like just driving to work, or really driving anywhere. There's no extra noise, obviously, unless you're playing music. Yeah. Which music for me, for a while, I would like listen to it all the time when I was driving, but then I was like, maybe this isn't so good. Like, maybe I should just like not listen to music. And that also helped me with not listening to music. I know that sounds weird. Not listening to music in the car while driving somewhere. And just like letting your brain be quiet. Yeah. And then like you just have these thoughts, and it's like talking to God, and praying in the car and stuff. And so that was my answer.
That's another thing too, though. Music, like music is such a huge thing. Like whether you listen to like worship or secular music or whatever it is, like it really does change like what's flowing in your ears. Just like changes your whole mindset.
It does. Yeah. I listen to a lot of like folk music and stuff. I'm not a big pop music person.
I think my music taste is all around. Yeah. Like, my music taste is just everywhere. But I've definitely had some of my best worship moments like in the car, though. Yeah. Like, because nobody's around, and like I'm not the best singer, but nobody's around, and I'll be singing at the top of my lungs going down the road. I'm sure some people like look at my windows, and they're like, what are you doing? Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I love like just rolling all my windows down.
Yeah, like I was doing that on the way here.
And the what do you call it? The roof.
Yeah.
The roof thing.
The sunroof. There we go.
Yes. The sunroof.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really liked her question on that. So, and like spending time with God is very important. Especially if you're like just like dipping your toes in the water and you're like, oh, I'm not exactly sure what I could do, get a Bible, find like a devotional book.
I feel like that's
something
so important. Like after people give their life to Christ, like I think a lot of people lose that like chasing after Jesus after that. Like after they give their life to Jesus, they don't know what to do afterwards. And I think just like honestly small little things like just changing like some of your mindset and like some of your habits from worldly things to just like focus on God and like focus on the kingdom. And
yeah, for me at a point it was like hard, because we're surrounded by all these worldly things, whether it be, the people, the books, the music, whatever it is. It can be so distracting from what we actually need to be focusing on, which is our relationship with God, as like him as the center of our lives. And that can be hard. And I would agree with what Memphis said, like when you're not as a new or like born again Christian or whatever you were saying. Is that
there we go.
Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're good.
Wait, what was I saying?
It just can be hard.
Oh yeah, it can be hard. Like it as a new Christian, it's like easy to like start chasing after that because you really want it. But once you get like more into it, and you're like, oh yeah, I read my Bible, like I'm a Christian now, and you've kind of gone full in, but then you have all these other things that pop up in your life, and then you just kind of forget sometimes. I know I have. You forget, and then sometimes you'll just be like, when was the last time that I've like opened my Bible or something? Yeah.
I feel like it can be so hard to get distracted just in the busyness of everyday life. And like it can be hard for like any stage like that you're walking in with God, like whether you're whether you've just gotten saved like a week ago or like you've been a Christian for like 20 years. Like I got saved when I was 16, I don't know, somewhere around there. But like just honestly any stage can be hard, and like you can just lose focus so easy because of all the things around us.
Yeah, in my youth group we were talking about how you lay there's an ant on the floor.
See, look, Sarah's getting distracted by ant on the floor.
Podcast mode. So my youth pastor, he was talking about like how we should lay everything down at the foot of the cross and follow him. And it's so easy to say, but it's not easy to do. And that laying everything down at the cross and at God's feet, it's like it's difficult, and it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
No,
like it's
not at all.
That once you've laid that down, you're gonna have so many highs, so many lows, so many in betweens, and it's not gonna be a perfect path. It's not just like, oh yes, I've saved, Jesus is in my life, and all this stuff, and it's all good. But you're gonna go through trials and difficult times and battles and stuff, and
you go through a lot. But like being a Christian, you're able to focus on like the joy that Jesus can bring through that. And like when you're facing hardship as a Christian, you know that God is going to do something good out of it.
That was my next point. There you go.
Yeah.
So you finished that well for me.
I got you.
Oh my goodness. Anyway.
But yeah, laying things down and like just trying to give it to God is so hard because you just want to like try to do everything yourself. And it's like, it's so hard to like trust God with everything in your life because it's like, I don't know what you're going to do with this, God, but it's like, if I tried to do it, but.
Right. Yeah. I lost my train of thought. I was getting ready to say something. Oh, it always comes back to me so fast. I'm like, I lose. Okay.
Usually when I lose it, it's gone.
Yeah, that's happened to me a lot. It's like when you, when you have to sneeze and you walk to the end of the house and then you just don't sneeze. And then have you ever like walked back in the same direction and then you remember and then you sneeze? Yeah. Anyway, that was weird.
Wait, no, that's a little weird.
Yeah, no, that happens to me. I sneezed too much this morning. Allergies are bad. But this is so off topic. Well, we actually didn't have a topic planned, so technically there is no topic. So we're just talking.
Been good so far.
Yeah. We can get very into a schedule of everyday life, and that can also be distracting.
Yeah, I would honestly say like, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I would say
before you lose your train of thought.
Yeah, that is such a huge struggle for me, working like 2 jobs and doing school and just like everything, like maintaining relationship with friends and family and like all the things. It's like, where do I fit God into that? And honestly, that's one of the like, huge reasons, like going back to the Cove, like I felt like was such a good choice, because like I realized how much like that contributed like to my faith and growing with Jesus. Yeah. But like we were saying earlier, like it's just so important, like even in your few minutes that you have like a free time, just like giving it to the Lord and spending time with him.
Yeah, because it can be so easy just to do other things. So yeah, distraction.
I feel like that's such a relatable topic.
It is.
Like,
yeah.
Real.
Maybe this is the title of our episode.
Yeah.
Distractions from God. Or did I say that right? I don't know.
Distractions and busyness. Yeah.
Life update.
Yeah.
Well, what else do you have going on? Just school, work.
School, work.
Yeah.
Everything.
So how do you maintain like a good relationship with friends?
I would say, I'm like, it's so hard because I'll go through like a few days where I'm like a really good texter. Like I'll get back to you fast. And then the next week, like I'm not responding to anybody. And so that can be a little hard, but I would just say like, honestly, just trying to keep in contact, like giving each other little updates here and there. Like, I don't know, just things like that. It's hard to like find time to hang out with friends, like even this, like it was so hard.
It was so difficult.
We tried to plan this at like the end of
it was like
end of
I talked to her in February.
Yeah,
I was like,
and this was like we planned this like 3 days ago or something.
Yes,
it was so last minute.
Well, it was her first day back at where I work, and well, she works there again now. But I was like, I really need you to like come on the podcast, and you're like, maybe I can do it like sometime next week. It's 7 days before this podcast comes out, and I'm going on. Let's see, I'm leaving Wednesday. I work Thursday. Anyway, I have to get this done by like Wednesday, because I'm busy.
So very last minute.
Yes, very last minute. It was very difficult.
But yeah, just like trying to, obviously, like on a list of priorities, I think it should always be God. I know it should always be God first. And then I think like family and friends, like, cause like we were saying earlier, community is so important. So, and finding community that like,
finding people that, you can trust, and finding people that, will, share a relationship, with God, like, and just having someone to talk to like about God, just I guess godly relationships.
Yeah,
it can be really difficult to like
just like pursuing Jesus with somebody else. Like it's almost like an accountability thing.
Yeah,
like accountability is so important.
Yeah, so it definitely is. Yeah, surrounding yourself with people that are like-minded is not easy, but God will bring you those people eventually.
Definitely is hard, like here and like just worldly places to find that community. But if you pray and like search and just wait on God, like He'll provide it.
Yeah. Speaking of praying again, I have another way that like you could a way to spend time with God. I have this wall on my bed, like on my bunk bed. I'm the top bunk, and so I have like this much There's the ant right there. I believe that ant was just on the floor.
You guys see it?
Look at it.
No way it climbed all the way up here.
I'll zoom in on it.
Anyways.
Yeah. I think that was the one that was on the floor. I keep finding ants
We'll just
in here.
leave him be.
Yeah. Anyway, so I have about like this much like wall space. Like here's my mattress. I got the wall. Have this little shelf, and then I have like a bunch of note cards that I've like split in half. And I call it my prayer wall. I have like a bunch of like prayers up there. I think I have like I number them actually. So I don't have to go 1, 2. Anyway. I think I have like 60 something on it.
Wow. I used to have this when I was moving out. I found this thing. I think it was like under my bed in a tub or something. And it was like a little square like tin. And it said like prayer box on it. And I had prayers in there from like 2016 or something. Oh, wow. And I read them and I was like, this is so precious. Just like how much my mind has changed and like my prayers now versus then. Yeah.
Okay. The things that you find when you're like deep cleaning or cleaning out your room. Oh my goodness. I found some wacky things that I've like written down. And I was just like, yeah, that's going in the dumpster.
It usually turns into like trying on all these clothes you didn't remember you had or like reading all these like diaries from when you were little.
Oh my gosh,
like,
not the diaries. The diaries
I had so many diaries.
I think I had one notebook that my mom's dad gave me, and it had like a puppy dog on it on the front cover. And so I kept that one, and I would just like write stuff in it, and I would date it and everything. Yeah, and I kept that one because he gave it to me. But
I
then,
used to write like all these things about my family, like my dad's favorite color is this, and his favorite food is this, and like my mom. I was like, why did I? That's so cute, though.
Did you ever remember the book, or did you ever read the book, The Gathering of Days?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay. That book is painful. It's painful to read because it's what like basically my diaries look like. It's basically like, today I went outside and I picked flowers and I put them in a vase.
That's so cute.
Like something like that. Anyway, that book was a pain to read in school, but journaling is another good way.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Journaling is so good. I'll get on like spurts of where I'll journal for like a month. And then I'll quit. And I don't really know the reason why I quit, but I think it's because I'll start journaling and I'll literally write like 5 pages or more. Yeah. And I'll be journaling for like an hour, 2 hours, which honestly isn't a bad thing. But I'm like, okay, I need to go to sleep now. But I still have more to say. But it's really cool to journal like your prayers and write down your prayers. Like that's a really cool thing about your wall, because you can go back and be like, God answered this, or like, and see how God answers prayers.
I was talking to a friend about my prayer wall, and they're like, well, have you ever like thought of having another wall for, you know, those answered prayers or whatever, like taking those answered prayers and moving them to someplace else? But then I was like, my room's kind of small.
You're doing your best.
I'm doing my best. I just put like check marks, I guess, on them, which it's hard to like go back and read them. Not like my phone's buzzing. It's just hard to read because 1, my handwriting is tiny. 2, half of the prayers go up onto the ceiling, and my ceiling is slanted. And so
you're like,
I know, so I'm like that. I can't read that. Let me turn my head. Oh, my necklace.
I heard it pop.
Anyway,
the mic heard that.
Check them off. Yeah, we'll see when I edit this. But journaling is another really good way to spend time with God and like put down prayers or
even just like self-reflecting. But
that too.
I could have done better with this today, or like you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, and like I guess when reading scripture, like I also have a notebook that I keep it open on my shelf in my bed, and I basically have like Bible verses that have like stood out to me. I don't have that many pages filled. I think I have like 5, just like a bunch of verses that I find that stood out, and then I just like write about, you know, why I picked that as a verse that like stood out to me.
Yeah.
Just write about it.
That's cool.
So journaling's good.
Maybe I should get back into that after this podcast.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I don't journal a lot anymore. I don't. Because when I was younger, it would just, be like about my day. It was like, I guess, diary.
That's so cute to go back and read them.
I know.
I love that.
And some of them are just like really cringy. And I'm like, why did I
love
write
going
that?
back and like seeing my
handwriting.
My handwriting and like the way I spelled words. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh girl.
Yeah.
I still spell so bad though, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll be like, okay, I used to have huge handwriting. Like it was massive. And so like, so those like there's an ant on the ceiling.
Look, there's two of it.
When we built this place, we didn't dry the wood in the ceiling. So there's been ants that come out in the spring. So we're just distracted by ants today.
Yeah. If you ever just see me like,
it's ants. That's not an ant.
There's another insect too.
Yes. There's another one. What was I saying? I don't remember.
Your big handwriting?
My big handwriting. Yes. So, like the notebooks that have like the lined paper.
You would take up
whatever.
like the whole.
No, I would take up like 3 of those, which is like that
That's
much.
so funny.
Anyway, yeah. I wonder if there's like a difference between a diary and a journal. If you Googled that.
I don't know.
Because I think when someone says journal, I think of like it's deeper.
Yeah.
Deeper. Diaries just like
my secret diary.
Yeah.
Like from the bookstore or book fair. Yeah. We had that like in elementary school because I went to public school. Mm-hmm. And at the book fair, they always have like the diaries with like the little locks.
Yes.
I just love that. I need another one.
Oh my goodness.
Sarah still uses hers.
I still have it. My cousin got it for me for Christmas, and she had, I think, the same one or one similar to it. Anyway, had a lock on it, and I lost the key.
You know another cool thing that used to be so big? It's like those invisible ink markers. And then you shine the little light on them.
Yes. Okay, I had one for the longest time.
I'm pretty sure I probably still have one somewhere.
Yes. I actually found one, I think it was like last year. I was cleaning out my my room. And I found one in one of the drawers, and it was like purple, and it had the light at the end of it. And then it was like the marker, and I was like, I wonder if this still works. I think I would
Those are so cool.
write stuff on my wall. Yeah, I did that, and then I obviously like wrote on my my hand or something.
That's funny.
But yeah, I remember those things. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know any other thing. What else should we talk about?
I don't know.
God's good, guys.
Yeah. That's where
what I have to say. How long have we been going? Like 20-ish minutes.
Have we really already?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. We're kind of at a dead point. Yeah. I feel like.
What did we talk about today? We talked about journaling, community, distractions, nostalgia.
Those are good.
Old memories.
Old memories, yes. What else? We talked about moving.
Yeah. Moving, work, busyness, everyday life.
Schedules.
Y'all really got the rundown.
Yeah, because we don't know what else to talk about. Let's see if I can come up with another question. Or you can try and come up with a question.
It's so funny when people are like, ask me a question or like get to know
I know,
me. I'm like, what's your
brain
favorite
goes-
color? It's like the most.
What's your favorite color?
What's your favorite color?
Yeah. Well, my favorite color is purple.
My favorite color is green.
I like dark green or
I
purple.
like all the colors. I feel like I sound like a toddler when I say that.
All the colors.
Like all the colors. But I do. I like all of them.
Yes. And the other, I think, most basic question is, what's your favorite food?
Sushi.
Sushi. See, the food is like, that's not a weird question, but it's like really difficult for me to answer for some reason.
Sushi, pasta. I'm not picky. I
like chicken Alfredo.
Oh, yeah.
My mom makes a really good chicken Alfredo.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I'll have to come
you'll
back
have
and
to
get
come back.
Yeah.
You and Jess.
You'll get a part 2 of me eating chicken Alfredo on the podcast.
Yes.
Give you a review.
Not an ASMR. Oh, okay.
I have to do
Maybe.
ASMR.
Maybe.
That would be so funny. They'd be like, what?
Let's see. What's another thing? I'm just trying to make this podcast long enough for people to listen to, I guess. But I guess, let's see. Another thing is, I mean, you're asking like these, you know, what's your favorite color, this, and like basic questions. How hard is it to come up with deeper questions?
What do you mean?
Like deeper questions to like get to know somebody better, or, you know, instead of like the basic, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite food? What do you do in your free time? You know, how many siblings do you know that stuff?
Yeah. How hard is it to come up with a question? I don't know.
Or is it like difficult for you? I mean, I know it's difficult for me because I'm
It can be
just a
difficult
slow
'cause,
thinker.
like, yeah. And I don't know. I shouldn't say that I don't like small talk. That kind of is small talk though, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Sometimes it's like hard to be like, yo, tell me about your personal life, you know? Just like,
Yeah. Like if you don't want to tell me about your personal life, that's fine. Like,
yeah,
you can keep
understandable.
that with you. And like we'll go off this direction. That's one thing that I have done is like people will like just ask like, no, how are you like actually doing, you know, instead of like, oh, how are you doing? No, like, how are you actually doing?
Yeah.
And you know, there's certain people that'll like I just like I don't want to tell you like
I honestly like love
personal
that though. Like,
information. Yeah, because
you
like,
don't have to go
shows that
into
they
depth.
yeah,
But like it shows
they
that
genuinely
they
care.
Another thing I saw, this might be like a little bit, oops, I kicked the camera.
It's okay.
Another thing I saw, like switching jobs and, is like sometimes people like don't even ask your name, you know, like,
Ooh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
and then like at the Cove, like you were saying, people genuinely care. They're like, what's your name? Like, how'd you find out about this place? Like, do you know Jesus? Like, honestly, like it's just such deep conversations. And I love that though. That's so, I need to start doing that. Like, how are you actually?
I know that's
To
something
just show that
like,
you care.
It someone will like ask me like, oh, how was your weekend, you know? What is that? Oh, it's wood.
The ants.
Yeah, we gotta spray this again. Look, we have the spray
Did you hear
right
that,
up
Dad?
there. Yeah. If Dad's listening, I don't know if he is, but let's see my camera battery. We probably have like 10 minutes left of battery life, but anyway, yeah, people will ask me like, oh, how are you doing? And then like I feel bad like after answering them, because then I was like, oh, I could have asked them. Yeah. And so like that's something that like I've been trying to do more, and it's easy to just like not do that. Or you know, I will ask people like how they're actually, or you know, it goes this way, I'll ask people how they're actually doing, and then they just kind of like answer very simply, and then I'm like, well, I told you a little bit about, you know,
Well, it's so hard because like a lot of times you're like, hey, how are you? Good. How are you? Good. And that's like how it ends.
Oh
and
my
it's like,
goodness.
it's
drives
such a
me
habit
crazy.
to just say good. But like, if you're not actually good,
Yeah.
real.
Go talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Pull aside a friend and go talk. That's why I need good friends, good community, I guess. But yeah, that's hard. It's like being like, oh, maybe I should ask that person how they were actually doing, because that is very important. I wrote my last paper on what was it? Actually, I wrote it on mental illness. And there was like a bunch of percentages and things. It was like 67% of people are like actually really suffering with like not having like people to talk to or something. And then it turned like it turns them into like having this mental state of like, oh, I'm not like, people don't really care about me. And so they just stay in their little bubble.
Yeah.
Where was I going with this? And it's so important to just ask people.
Yeah. Or honestly, just like being vulnerable too. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, not completely. Obviously, you don't want to
Yeah.
tell everybody your personal business.
Yes.
But if somebody's like, how are you? And say you're really tired that day, like you're just not having a great day, just be like, honestly, I'm not having a great day. And just like be real, because that like opens the door for them to be real with you. And then that also gives you like an opportunity to like witness to them. If they don't know Jesus. If they do know Jesus, like just pray with them. And
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's so important to, again, ask people how they're actually doing. And we can, like you said, oh, how are you doing? Oh, I'm good. It just, if you go a little bit further and like, how are you actually doing? It just opens that door to, be able to pray for them and then be their friend and just have like, I guess, a new relationship. And it could turn into something like it could turn into such a blessing to have that friendship.
another thing too about like praying for people, I need to definitely get better about this. So like I'm talking to myself too, but like it's so cool if you can just like pray for somebody on the spot, because saying like, I'm going to pray for you, like that's great. Like if you're actually going to do it, but like it means so much more to somebody if you just like sit down and pray with them right there. Like, but that can be so hard to do. So like, honestly, like I've probably only done that. Like I can count on one hand because like I just get so nervous. Like
I know. Yes. But I have prayed for like someone on the spot like a few times, but it's really hard. I don't know why. Yeah. Because I mean, like you said, it's so easy to like say, I'll pray for you.
Yeah.
And then you go home or you're texting them or whatever. And then you end up like just kind of, I guess, forgetting. And then you're like, well, if I forgot, then like, that's not good.
Yeah.
Because then they're actually like really important, and then you just realize like I forgot to pray for them.
Oh, another cool thing, speaking of that too, I got to hear Sadie Robertson speak this weekend, and it was amazing. Oh yeah, that's because I was so excited because I listened to her podcast and just like see little shorts of her and follow her on Instagram and stuff. And she talked about prayer and just being like a woman of prayer, and she shared an example about how somebody had asked her to pray, and like she immediately was like, sure, let me like post about this and like ask other people to pray as well. And like in the midst of all of that, she like it just slipped her mind to like really like spend time with the Father and like praying for that person. And she was like, I felt really convicted about it, so like I prayed about it like and prayed for that person. And she was like, a lot of times like we just think like, her whole thing was like about what you bring to the table. And she was like, I wanted to be like, well, I can offer this, like she has millions of followers. So she was like, immediately like, I can offer this. This is what I have. Yeah. Like, this is what I bring to the table is like my social status. So like, I want to help in that way. And she was like, but like our relationship with God is like enough. Like she asked me to pray. Like, so anyways.
Yeah. Kind of. Yeah. Where did you go for that?
I went to Women of Joy. It was like a conference in Tennessee. Oh my gosh, it was so amazing. There was like 10,000 women there, and we had worship and like lessons like in the morning and evening, and had a concert. It was so good, but it was crazy to be in a room with 10,000 women. Like, and we were all worshiping. Like,
yeah. I really wanted to go to Passion.
Oh, I want to go to Passion so bad. Oh my
goodness. We should go. I really wanted to go this year. Well, the guest that I had on the last podcast, he had like open like tickets or something, and I was so close to getting one because I really wanted to go, but I had like all these other things going on the same week. Like my parents were out of town. I had work. I had this thing and that and school. And I was just like, I can't, but I really wanted to.
I know. I want to go so bad.
Yeah.
It'd be so
we
fun.
can do that next year. They didn't have Passion for a while, I don't think.
Really?
Yeah. Or something. Or my mom was talking about it. When was Passion this year? It was January. Yeah. And we have like old Passion CDs and stuff in our house.
That's so cool.
Yeah. They're kind of scratched. It's fine.
They're there.
Mm-hmm. Let me check my time. Yeah. We should probably wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Mm-hmm. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I always say so. If you guys enjoyed this episode, be sure to follow it on all the platforms, Instagram, Spotify, and I have it on Apple podcasts as well. I get more listeners on Spotify for sure. And YouTube, just go watch the episode if you want to watch it. And I'm very glad we got to make this podcast episode.
We talked about so many things. So.
I know. Yeah, we had a little bit of dead space, but that was okay. It's okay if that happens sometimes. It's warm in here. I'm sweating.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm like in this whole jacket, long sleeve.
You pulled up and I was like, how is she wearing a jacket?
I'm still in my work clothes, guys, from this morning, so.
All right, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, give this video a thumbs up, or if you're listening, just give this podcast a follow. And thank you for tuning in.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
you,
Memphis,
Sayer,
for
coming.
having
me.
You're welcome. I'm glad we could fit it in.
I know, me too.
So anyway, y'all have a good rest of your day. Happy Sunday evening. And I will see you guys next month with another episode.
Bye, guys.